Hello everybody, this is Giraffe Dragon here bringing you another Let's Play of Paper Mario, The Thousand Year Door. Last time, we basically have access to Glitzville now, however, we're going to go ahead and take care of some side quest stuff now. And I might as well go ahead and just get the toughest one out of the way first. And that one is Pine Tea Jr. His father went down into the Pit of 100 Trials, which is a place that said it contained lots of treasure. We'll meet you down there in a jiffy. Cut. Guys, we're back. If you're wondering as to why we're back in the front of the 1,000 Year Door, that's because one way how to get into the pit, access to the Pit of 100 Trials door area, is you want to come over here using that panel, and then you want to enter through this door. And in here we're going to see Pine Tea Jr. Pine Tea Sr., his father, he went down and his father's job wasn't working that well for them. So he decided to come down here to see for the legendary treasure that is said to contain below. The Pit of 100 Trials is where a lot of reskin enemies as well as tougher enemies reside. And oh man, how much HP does this guy have now? I'm legit curious. Anyways, these are Gloombas. Likes dark, damp places. HP is 7, attack 3, defense 0. It's stronger than a normal Goomba, so be careful. That's not a healthy color for a Goomba, but it doesn't mean it's sick or anything. So don't show any mercy. Wow, that got buffed up from 7 to 12. Of course, because that's what it does normally. Anyways, I'm just gonna go ahead and charge up. And if we run into any new enemies, what I'm going to do is that if we run into any new enemies, then what I'm honestly going to end up doing is we're going to skip any fight that we have already seen before, but any fight that we haven't, but any enemy that we haven't encountered yet, I'm going to cover and show that battle for it. Also, in case we ended up getting a level up, which this battle actually will. And doesn't matter. I'm kind of surprised it didn't use the lightning though, because that's like a clean 5 damage, and I don't think Mario and friends can dodge that. And perfect. That's exactly what we needed. Because yeah, for the first 20-ish or so floors, enemies aren't going to be giving you a whole lot, and I'm going to upgrade BP again. Anyways, I will cut, and I will see you guys later when we run into a new enemy, or if we run into our person, or something weird happens. Cut! Oh, something interesting happened. This guy here, he's a mover. Yeah, they sometimes appear in the Pit of 100 Trials. And it's like a 5% chance to run into him throughout the entire Pit of 100 Trials, except for the last 10. Except for like the last 10 or 5. For a few coins, they'll send you to another floor. Basically, the way how it works is that 2 levels is 10 coins, 5 levels is 30, and back to the entrance is 10. So he's kind of useful if you just sort of want to go back to the beginning anyway, and you're sort of stuck, or if you just want to skip past some levels to go down a little bit farther. For example, like right now, we're actually at level 5, so if I wanted to take his bargain, I could, and it wouldn't honestly hurt all that much. Anyways, cut. Okay, guys, we're at the 10th floor. Every 10 floors, you're going to get an item of some sort. It's always going to be a badge or something very unique. In the case of the 50th floor, we got a Sleepy Stomp there for a little bit of badge points and flower points. I could put an enemy to sleep. Anyways, we're gonna cut to when we run into a new enemy, or when we get to the person that we're looking for, because he's going to pop up at around the teens. Anyways, new enemy here. Oh, 2 new enemies actually. Shoot, what should I do here? Just go ahead and tattle the Paragloomba. By the way, the Gloomba variants, they start off with like 3 attack, which is stronger than the X-Nauts, and the X-Nauts also have 4 HP. So these guys are stronger than them. Yuck! Yuck indeed. Bonk, 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 bonk. Okay, there we go. Oh, this is jerkish. They can spawn, Pokies can spawn in enemies. And as you can saw there, I took only 1 damage. However, they deal 3. So I would have taken a nice... Yeah, enemies down here are about, like, do a lot of damage. 4, 3, and 0. Look at those spines. They would totally hurt if you stomp on it. Pokies attack by lopping parts of their bodies and by charging at you. They can even call friends for help, so be quick about taking them out. So what I like to do is charge. Ow. Yeah, these guys can really... Like, you saw that. I had 20 HP for Goombella a second ago. And then it's like the second that happens, it's like it all just disappears. It's like, poof. How much did they give? Pretty decent. Anyways, I'll see you guys in a sec. Oh, I might as well go ahead and just add this in. When you encounter fighters, you can't first strike them. You know what? I'll go ahead and just show off how this works. Basically, you want to mash the button of the one that's aimed towards your enemies. There we go. And they're all immobilized for 3 turns. Anyways, yeah, that's the name of the move, Clock Out. And, you know what? I'll just go ahead and appeal this turn. That way Mario can sort of use his thing. That way he can appeal. Oh, really, Curse? You know what? I'm just gonna leave this battle in because of how ridiculous this is. You know, I think I'm starting to think I insulted Ted a little too many times. Anyways, I think I'm gonna go ahead and just use Sweet Treat here so I can heal Mario up. Because if I screw with the commands too many times, I'm gonna end up dying. And then guess what, guys? I'm gonna restart the recording again. Okay. Like every time I see the color green, it's like I'm scared. Okay. And then they're back. I think... Oh, this is something new. Yeah, if you get hit by stage lights, you can get electrified. So Koops gets hit by it, then he's guaranteed to sort of like, you know, succeed a little. Anyways, I think the difference between the 1 and the 2 shot and the 3 shot is that the 1 shot is a bigger wad. Yeah, because that was kind of small. Anyway, cut. Man, we're actually about 20 minutes now. This was a good idea that I did this first. Should be running into him pretty soon. Oh, we just encountered our friend here. You know what? I'm curious. What would happen? Oh! I'll keep that battle in, because that was actually kind of it. That was a good learning moment. I thought that if you attacked a Puff like that, then you would have ended up, like, you know, doing damage to yourself. By the way, that's Pine Tea Senior. We gotta help him out quickly, for his son's sake. Anyways, we're actually on level 18, so yeah, kind of far in. Every time that you encounter a battle, he'll just stand off in the corner and wait for you to fight. Like, you saw what he did there? He sort of runs into a corner and waits for you to fight. Anyway, yeah, this is floor 20. So basically you always have to go through at least the first 10 floors, and then you have to go through the first 20 floors. And your reward for floor 20 is the fire drive. This is a really powerful one. This is something really powerful. It requires 5 FP, so pretty expensive. However, it hits all ground enemies, which is a plus, and it burns every enemy that it runs into. And it's pretty strong too. Like, I think it starts at like power of 5, and then just gets a little bit weaker as it goes across the screen. Anyways, basically, yeah, you help get his dad back, and he sort of learns the lesson of, you know, maybe it's not worth, maybe just enjoying life as it is important enough. And our reward is the silver card. That allows us to play this mode in the parlor. By the way, if you check over here, the deepest level, it tells you the deepest that you've ever gone, the record power bounces. Now, that power bounce number, that was actually something that I got off screen, and the number of star pieces. So if you're curious as to how many you have, of how many you found entirely, that'll tell you that. By the way, something interesting I want to tell you about the pit. Do not enter. This pit is the entrance to the pit of 100 trials. First attack and bump attack badges don't work here, so beware. First attack and bump attack badges, what that does is that the first attack is that if you hit an opponent with that attack, and they are severely weaker than you, then you will automatically win the battle. And the bump attack badge is just you run into an enemy, period. Like, if they first strike you, you win, you auto win. Now, this doesn't work on bosses, because let's face it, if that was the case, then Thousand Year Door would be way too broken for its own good. Especially since you can technically, at the absolute earliest that you can get in is the second that you have access to your paper thin ability, which is pre-Hooktail. And I've heard of people that have actually done pre-Hooktail runs. It's pretty crazy. I suggest watching it someday. You might see something. You'll see something amazing. Because those people are like, most of them are experts at like super guards and stuff. And there's like and basically that's where all the powerful reskins go. Anyways, the second request that we're gonna do is going to be for a Boo girl named Lala. She's the sister of Pika that we saw that gave us entrance to Don Pianta's office. And she has an interesting reward for us. Pianta Parlor is now having its grand opening. Whee! Whoever takes this request gets something special from Lala, the cute kitty boo. Now you might be thinking, oh, there's not much of a description here. Like what is it gonna be? Like, do we have to face a boss? Do we have to win a certain number of minigames in a row? Like, what do we have to do? I'll meet you guys there in a sec. Anyway, guys, we're back. Now, you might be wondering what we actually have to do. All we gotta do is just talk to her. And she just gives you free 10 Pianta tokens. And we talk to her. She sees that we have another members card. Now there's two things that are great about having these member cards. Because one, you get access to these mini games. And a second thing that you get is that it expands the inventory that you get, the accessibility that you can get. So with those 10 free ones, we can automatically get something like a super shroom or a cake mix. Cake mix is used for a lot of cooking items, no surprise. And there's a lot of, and the biggest thing that you can buy at this moment is the gold bar times 3, which is actually which if you check the shops, that's the last reward that you can get for having like a whole lot of points. And by the way, she always holds on to your Pianta tokens for you. I suppose that way so people don't get mugged out on the streets. And I haven't talked about this guy. That's Lucky. He's a bomb. I like to call him like a coconut bomb. He's a real stickler for the rules, so if he catches you cheating, well, just be careful, Mario. Basically, this is the Lotto ticket thing. Basically, using the in-game clock, using the in-system clock, you can pay money for a ticket, and then you come back like the next day or sometime later, and Lucky will tell you if your ticket's a winner. If it is a winner, then you get like, I think it's like 100 coins or something. I'll put up on screen right now what it is. And by the way, she's not kidding about the whole like cheating thing, because if you're caught cheating, and the game will know, by the way. The only way the game won't know is if you, I think it's like if you're playing this on the Wii version or something, because of how the game disc actually views it. But it's a bad thing. In fact, he'll tell you that, like, you know, Toadette was going to win, but that because of the fact that the day got screwed over, she's not going to be able to win. And basically, if you do that, then you have to pay a fine of like 500 or something coins. And so essentially, it's like you have to pay about half the max amount that you could carry at one time because you cheated once. And if you cheat multiple times, I think it's like 2 more times. By the way, I have something I want to show you guys right here. Something that I forgot to show you guys last time. You guys ground pound that, you get a star piece. And if he catches you cheating again after that, I think he gives you an auto game over. So it's one of the few non-combative like game over sequences you'll ever see in this game. Anyways, we're gonna beat you over by the tree. Cut. Okay, we're back, everybody. Now the reason as to why we're doing this quest is that the puny elder, she requests a life shroom, which we happen to have in our inventory from the first chapter. And she gives us a pretty good reward for just getting it, to just coming back over here, essentially. She gives you 60 coins, which is basically a 10 coin profit if you had to go buy it. And the second thing I want to do here is that, aw, Punio's always getting in trouble with the elder. It's no fun for me. Hey, Mario, can't you play with me instead? Sure. Yes! Okay, this is awesome. Ready to play Stump Petuni? You ask me any question you want. There isn't a question I can't answer. Come on. Create an easy question that Petuni can answer. And it's always the same. Mario likes which person the most? And your reward for playing this game with her is the Mystic Egg, and you have to let her win. It heals 5 HP normally, so it's like a mushroom. So this is basically a free mushroom. But it has cooking properties as well. We'll meet you guys back over in Rogue Park. Cut. Anyways, guys, that's all the questing that we can do for the time being. And by the way, there's a certain sort of weapon / item that you can that involves using coconuts and eggs. And you combine it, because once we have the ability to combine items to make stuff, then we're going to be able to make stuff called the coconut bomb and the egg bomb. Now, in order to make the egg bomb or the coconut bomb, you're going to need, you know, an egg or a coconut, and then you're going to need a fire flower. And I think that does like a good 3 or so damage, and you can aim it at any opponent. However, there's a special item that you can make later so you might be thinking, what happens if you combine an egg bomb with a coconut bomb? You make something called the zess dynamite, which does like 6 or 7 damage, and it hits all opponents on the screen, plus piercing damage. Anyways, I want to go ahead and sell it. As you can see there's also a soft stomp there, as well. I want to sell the sleepy stomp, and while the fire drive is like, you know, 50 coins, that means that if we decided to get rid of it, we would end up having to pay like a good 100 coins to get that back. And I want to sell the the sound effects badge, because I don't ever use that. And let me just check to see if there's anything else I want to get rid of. Because part of me is kind of tempted to get rid of the super appeal. No, I'll keep that. And right now these are kind of decent, but I'm actually looking to get a certain badge that you can attain at any point so long as Charlatan the Merchant is here. And yes, that's his name. And no, okay, there is some new stuff. There's a sound effects badge that changes, I want to say it's like a Bowser sound. This is the slow go badge, which literally makes it to where you can't run, and I think it costs BP to use. In fact, let me check real quick. Low price. Oh, you don't need any BP. No. Now, if you're wondering as to how to get him to swap his wares, you need to go 2 screens over. And commonly what speedrunners like to do is that they like to take this path over here and then go north real quick. And then go right back down, go north, and then you go right back down and talk to Charlatan again. Now, we're going to talk to him, and if he doesn't have it, then I'm going to cut until he has it. Just to let you know. And I'll probably let you guys know as to what attempt that'll be. Okay. Oh, sweet. Okay, the W emblem. 360 coins. This is just about everything that I have. Now, you might be wondering what's so special about this. Well, what this allows you to do is that if you equip it, it gives you the warrior clothing, and we'll run into the L emblem later. I just think that for the next area, it'd be nice to have this. Speaking of which, guys, I'm actually going to cut it off here. Or actually, no. We're going to head to the next area, and then we'll cut off there. That way, you guys can just sort of see this little animation of us going to the next area, as well as showing you one more star piece that we can find. Showing the blood ticket, and you'll see a star piece right here. Anyways, we're gonna go ahead and just fly off. Because we're technically starting the chapter, but not really. Because we're at like close to 40 minutes, and thankfully I can actually cut a lot of stuff out in the Pit of 100 Trials. That way we can sort of get more stuff done when we get there. Because the Glitz Pit is literally just going to be a whole bunch of fights. Spoiler alert. Chapter 3 of Glitz and Glory. Yeah, this animation actually kind of takes a while now that I think about it. Sheesh. Because let's be fair here, because if I didn't do this, then this video would probably be more like 20 or like maybe even 15 minutes, because I'm cutting out a lot of the pit. Because a lot of it was just fights that we've already seen before. And the only new enemies that we encountered were Pokies, Paraglumbas, and Gloombas. So yeah, a bunch of balloons here. Wonder how much that's ruining the ozone. If that's what actually happens. I don't actually know or remember. So yeah, we made it, guys. So just look at this place. It's like Chinatown. It's like Chinatown if Chinatown had a Chinatown. I mean, it hasn't ever, you know, plunged from the sky or anything, has it? That's a very, that's a very realistic thought. Like, how do they keep this place afloat? Like, do they just have, like, secret duct tape or staples somewhere? Or is it just, like, one of those invisible... You know what? I think I know what it is. I think it's just an invisible stand is under it. And everyone's just been lying about it being like that. You might be thinking, oh, we have to wait for a while to get that. No. You can just hammer there and get a Shine Sprite now. That's something really nice. And, by the way, in coupon. And, Go behind over here. Nope, there's nothing there. Okay, now... We're gonna go over to a save block, the save block over here. And, next time, we're going to be properly starting the chapter. We're going to be actually doing stuff in this chapter. See you guys then.